for now, it seems Damwon is just going to remove some of the enchant sports from the bot side of the map. You imagine that Yuumi is likely to be removed as well. Look at this. Perhaps C9 is actually suggesting a Twisted Fate first pick right now. And I'd love to see them ban away the Aurelia right now. And if they do Ryze, Sylas, and Aurelia, then they can just grab themselves the TF, and then they can say, ShowMaker, what have you got?
Also means that Damwon might look towards that Twisted Fate as a final third ban on the red side. Of course, if you ban out the Aurelia here, you're kind of showing your hand, but you don't want to give them both up. You could not ban out one of them, hope that the enemy team bans out the other, and then you take the pick of the litter for the first, but of course, it's likely in that sort of scenario that you end up in a trade, and they're going to go for that strategy. Remove the LeBlanc, now see if Damwon leave both the Aurelia and the Twisted Fate open, or if they decide to ban one of those away.
Ooh, I already like it. C9 coming in with a confident plan. They know exactly what they want, and now it's up to DK to decide how they will respond. Of course, being 5-0 in this group, Damwon have handled every single obstacle that has been thrown their way. So what will their response be? Will the Twisted Fate be taken off the boards? It will not. The gauntlet has been thrown. ShowMaker has said, do your worst, bring your Twisted Fate into me, and let's see what you got.
I mean, here's the discussion though. You can see Fudge being like, well, perhaps we go for the Aurelia here instead. Twisted Fate will be locked in. Now, do Damwon decide that the Aurelia is high enough priority for them to pick it up here?
For me, Lee Sin is the biggest thing. You're giving Canyon Lee Sin. Misfortune is also up and available for Ghost. There's also the Leona. They could just grab that bot lane right now. It depends if they're worried about giving away the Lee. Oh, there's actually so much available still for both teams, and it looks like that they're going to go for the MF Lee Sin combo. Okay, so Leona could be taken away by C9 right now, and BeryL is probably saying, well, you know what, I've got enough champions. He's a big fan of the REL. We know that he's probably likely, or he's happy to play that into it, and so C9 is saying, well, we can't afford to give you the Leona MF bot lane, so we're going to take that one away. And this Aurelia is still up and available. I'd be surprised if C9 tried to lock that one in now. Instead, they're going to get themselves what I imagine will be the Graves top. So they've gotten themselves a pretty safe blind top laner. We know that Khan has already played Jax into this matchup once before. The question is, will he look to do the same thing again? I wouldn't be surprised to see a mid laner locked in for ShowMaker right now, because if he doesn't, that mid lane pool is going to get awfully small.
Looks like it might be the Jax though, as Damwon decides to invest more into Khan. Had a very good game earlier on today against Rogue, was absolutely popping off with some resources in here. Jax, of course, can get ahead in the early game. We've seen that in the start of groups, but usually much more about scaling towards late game, becoming a split push threat.
I think what's the most impressive about Khan is he's played both sides of this matchup and he's won both of them.
Yep.
He's really had a fantastic group stage, and I think he's cementing himself as the strongest top laner in Group A at the very least, and Damwon is putting their trust in him. Now, Damwon continues to attack the bot lane pool. With Ezreal being removed, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like the Tristana also removed. We did see that come out from Sven earlier in the day, but it would be a pretty potent 2 versus 2 lane, especially around that level 2 mark.
Syndra getting taken away from ShowMaker there in the mid lane. You can see C9 just wanting to shore up their mid lane, make sure that Perkz is in a good position on this Twisted Fate to be able to roam around the map and influence the rest of the lanes, because he and Blaber teaming up is really what's given C9 this acceleration, this momentum today. What's given C9 these wins is that power of the mid-jungle duo.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Zin ban as well, depending on how much they respect it. I think Zan is... No, the Tristana is going to be taken off. We also talked about that earlier. They're focusing on making sure that Ghost has a comfortable matchup as possible in the bot side of the map. So C9 now, they have some options. They could ban Kassadin if they're afraid of ShowMaker bringing out. Remember that he did bring out in the LCK playoffs. It does scale incredibly well. It does still struggle into the Twisted Fate in lane, but they're not going to. Instead, they're going to remove the Brawn, any potential disengage that can come out from the side of Damwon. So now, Kassadin is just kind of what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking about from the side of ShowMaker. He could also go for something like an Azir if he wants to have a lot of prio and control in the mid wave. He wouldn't be able to follow as easily, but they may also just lock in their support. And for now, that is looking like a Shen support. So they want to still have some power and also be able to match some of the side lane plays that C9 is looking to leverage that Twisted Fate for.
And that's the idea behind the Shen. You know, if you know that the enemy is going to be destinying up towards the top lane, yes, Stand United will take a little bit more time to come online because you're a support, so you don't have the levels. But after the first couple of times it's used, you can then follow them up with a Stand United of your own. Usually answers would be the Rise and the Silas, but you can see, as we mentioned earlier, C9 decided to remove those from possibility. Cloud9 now looking towards their AD carry. Kai'Sa is the pick. And then this Graves may be going to the jungle. Kennen locked in.
So they flipped it up. I like what they did there. So they kind of baited Damwon into saying, well, hey, look, this Graves likely going to go top lane. We haven't showcased that Blaber is happy to play it.
Jack's jungle?
Sorry, I shouldn't talk about how I thought that had been locked in for a second there.
Oh, yeah, because Lee Sin's already there as well, so that would have been the strangest of scenarios.
But is this the Kassadin that we talked about? It will be. So ShowMaker is going to be bringing out his fabled Kassadin. From what I recall, he played it twice in their series versus T1, if my memory serves me correctly. He had 1 win, 1 loss on the champion. Obviously, the biggest weakness of Kassadin is your ability to get prio in the mid lane. But you want to talk about scaling? Oh boy. Jax plus Kassadin in a side lane with a Shen on top of them as well. That is terrifying. It is not the strongest mid-jungle duo, but I think Damwon's strategy is going to be very much about attacking the top side once again. We've seen this consistent style of the Canyon, right? The fact that they are playing around top so much, they have the Shen ultimate to be able to offer that utility as well. And it seems that while Cloud9 have shaped up their draft to give a winning matchup for Fudge in the 1 versus 1. I wonder what this will do for Blaber in the jungle, because Graves doesn't have the same playmaking power that things like a Zven is able and capable of in the early game.
A lot of weight on those Cloud9 shoulders here, knowing that your destiny is in your own hands. Of course, Perkz has been in this position many times before, as have many of the players on Cloud9. The question is whether they can bring it home for North America today. Would be the first team from North America to make it through to the out of the group stage since 2018, when it was Cloud9 themselves who ended up beating Africa in the quarterfinals and making it to semis. Damwon looking to go undefeated. It's about that for them, about the pride that comes with sweeping your group, about consistently showing just how much darn better you are than everyone else.
Well, they've definitely shown it so far at the World Championship. In their group at the very least, they're going to be a terrifying team that no one is going to want to go up against in the best of 5s. But that is still a bit away. For now, we have to get through this game, and it is a doozy. You can feel the tension in the air already. So much weight on the shoulders of Cloud9. Just the expectations for the West, all-time low. You know, 4 LCK, 4 LPL representatives. Many people said that not a single EU or NA team or anyone else is getting out as long as those 4 seeds exist. And Cloud9 is super close to defying that already. Yep. 1 more win is all they need. And you know what? They deserve it. You know, we were talking about this, right? From going 0-3 to 3-0, if they're able to take down Damwon, they really do just deserve it based on how they've been able to turn things around in such a short time as well. They had 1 day yesterday to go and make so many changes. And you know, it was Vulcan that was saying in an interview, he feels like that individually that's not really their problem, but their mid-game is really where things have fallen short. And what they've done is they've gotten leads in the early game, and they haven't slowed down with those leads. So let's see if they can get that early game lead against the current world champions.
It's a difficult task for them. Blaber starting off towards the bottom side of the map. There's a ward on his Razor Beaks. There's also a ward near the red buff for Damwon, just in case Blaber decided to go for anything sneaky. Khan is running Omnistone here in the top lane. Currently has Grasp on this Jax. I think it's just you can utilize a lot of the different runes pretty well, right?
Well, he's also in a ranged matchup, so running Grasp, you know, as a rune throughout this match, you're not going to be able to get a huge amount of value out of. So instead, choosing to go up for a little bit of a shake-up there with the Omnistone, not something that we commonly see, but we'll see how things pan out for him.
It does remind me of a couple of years ago when it was all the LCK top laners just ran Klepto. Yep. And we got destroyed by them over and over again.
Noggery with his Jace Klepto and kkOma. It was pretty terrifying, to say the least, but that rune's gone.
Thank goodness.
Now Khan looking for a nice trade up towards the top lane. Procs a phase rush from his Omnistone. Very good trade in the 1 versus 1. Fudge, though, should be able to get something back. Oh, of course, still in level 2, my apologies. Not able to proc that third one just yet. Of course, if he had the passive auto attack on his W, there may have been a way. And either way, Khan's going to walk away from that one, but very back and forth trading. Khan just trying to leverage the fact that he does have a HP advantage in that 1v1 thanks to his the corrupting pot.
And Perkz doing the same in the mid lane, knowing that he has the range advantage, just forcing ShowMaker back, getting the stun cards in, trying to harass down that Kassadin as much as possible, and ShowMaker goes for the door and shield, knowing
he actually got in. Wow, I thought that would spot him out, but Canyon identifying the vision very well. Look at the Graves in mid lane as well, though.
Blaber and Vulcan are here. Canyon's going to have ShowMaker's going to have to flash away from this one. Dodges the Zenith Blade while in the smoke screen. Good dodge on the Sonic Wave there as well by Fudge. Did have to burn his flash.
Zven's here too, just for good measure. Wow, so from the draft to the game...
Okay, Perkz, that was a little bit short. Give each other the thumbs up.
Okay, a bit of banter there between the two mid laners, but ShowMaker is being shut down right now, being denied as much as humanly possible. We saw it in the draft. It was 4 mid lane bans into a Twisted Fate first pick, forcing him onto the Kassadin. Kassadin's weakest point is the early game. Oh wow, can't read.
I mean, Aftershock doing a lot of work here, but Khan has the flash to try and get away.
Block there.
Getting creep block. There's the leap strike, smoke screen. Straight away, he flashes. Blaber flashes for the chase. Needs one more auto before he gets behind the tower. And just couldn't get enough in. Khan escapes with 100 HP.
Right, I really like what we're seeing from Cloud9 here. Threatening the mid lane dive, rotating from bot up into the mid. Now Blaber
where
in the
Vulcan
top
is.
Yeah, they want to threaten this dive. Only level 2, but that's all he needs. Now, Damwon on the... They're flashing in themselves.
Yeah, flash taunt. Perkz has no flash after that attempted dive earlier on. He will be first blooded. Meanwhile, Khan on the top side should have his counter-strike back up. TP coming out. The counter-strike just does so much work in this situation. And Vulcan gone a little bit too deep. Will be able to escape before that final tower shot comes in. ShowMaker TP'd in, and the rest of Damwon are on their way. Fudge able to lightning surge away. And C9 will be able to escape. TP used now by Perkz to get back to that mid lane.
Woo. I have so much respect for Cloud9 right now. We talked about how they've been winning today is just really forcing fights, going for these skirmishes, not being afraid to challenge their opposition, and they're doing a fantastic job of it in this game. They threaten the mid dive, they threaten the top dive, and while the mid one failed, they end up getting themselves a kill in the top lane. So very well played by Cloud9. They find themselves with a small gold lead in this early game, and a bit of level advantage. As you can see, Khan struggling a little bit in the 1v1 after so much pressure is being put down onto him.
And still being able to keep around 6 CS within Fudge, so not in the worst of situations. Of course, dying early on has cost him quite a bit. ShowMaker was able to catch this top wave and shove it out. But Fudge is here in time to catch it back, and so he won't miss out on any of this experience or gold.
This is actually so huge for Fudge, because you just look at the farm right now. He's picking up this huge wave. Khan was zoned away from that stacked wave in the top lane. He also didn't really get a huge amount of farm in the mid lane either. So Fudge now has a level advantage on Khan, and he's now going to have to go back up to top lane to catch that stacked wave. And basically, it's just sad face for Khan across the board.
It's very difficult on the Jax if you burn your flash early on to manage to navigate these fights. Ward coming out onto Canyon. And now level 6 for Perkz. Let's see where this first Destiny goes. ShowMaker yet to get towards that level 6 mark.
What I would love to see right now is, again, just Blaber, if he wanted to, could start making his way up towards top lane, and they could just threaten another dive.
There's a Zenith Blade looking for some damage here onto BeryL. They can put down the Spirit's Refuge. Does so, and then dashes away. Blaber is working on the bottom side of the map right now. Perkz hovering towards the top, doesn't have too much mana. Vulcan continues to push forward. Shielded Daybreak for the stun, but now he's down to about 2/3 HP, and they're going top. Perkz looking for Khan. Counter-strike away from the stun. Fudge has to wait for the minions to get here. Khan will be forced away.
I love this. It's so good. We just talked about how Graves could make his way top to threaten the dive, but the Perkz ultimate alone is enough because it's just continuing to zone farm away and experience from Khan in particular. They know how big of a late-game threat Khan can be, but now Vulcan could be in trouble.
Canyon lands a Sonic Wave, and Vulcan is dead. BeryL lay in wait in that bush for a very long time, and in the end was able to find his catch.
And this is the scary thing about Damwon. C9 have been relentless in their aggression. They have not stopped looking for picks and looking for plays. Yeah, Damwon is so much more patient. They wait for that small window where you make a slide over step, bang, instantly dead. They punish Perkz in mid lane for having no flash. They catch Vulcan out in the river. He's only level 3 to the level 5 of BeryL. So yes, we're seeing a lot of proactivity in the early game from Cloud9. But if it's not resulting in huge leads, Damwon is very clever in how they control and find ways to punish each of your decisions.
You can see even Khan in the top lane, even on CS. Now with Fudge, there is a wave pushed in, so it's going to be probably about a 1 wave difference between the two of them, but Khan, after being so shut down in the early game, is actually in an okay spot for Ajax at this portion of the game. Blaber able to secure the first dragon of the matchup with that Infernal. He is a player that you will look to as a C9 fan, as someone who should really shine in this game, someone who has shined across the course of the rest of today as well. Absolutely barnstorming through their first couple of games.
His kill participation at 15 is just nuts.
Yep.
94.7%. He has been so active in the early game with a K plus 8 at 9. Like, that's why I was talking about the Graves being a little concerning, because it's not the same as the Zin. It's not the same as giving him that same agency and playmaking power that we're used to seeing. And I'm not saying that he's bad on the pick by any means, but so far in this early game, it's slightly Dam1 favored, and that early game aggression that we've been consistently seeing from Cloud9 today, which has resulted in a lot of their wins so far in this game, hasn't showed its face.
It's kind of just been tempered by Dam1. ShowMaker going in here. Look at the damage on the Perkz. Gold card locked in. Vulcan here as well, but still only level 4 on that Leona. Up towards the top side of the map. Fudge looking for Khan. Blaber here as well. Kennen has the kick back here, trading onto Blaber. Will dodge across the wall. There's the Stand United. There's the Sonic Wave. There's the kill. And now perhaps C9 will have to react to this dive. Canyon and BeryL waiting for the minion wave to get pushed in. Fudge can try and get back, but the Sonic Wave from Canyon should be up in just a second. There we are. Fudge has to dodge it. He does have Lightning Rush and should be able to walk away.
I like this from Dam1, recognizing that they've been there a little too long. The wave isn't getting pushed in fast enough, so they don't want to overstay. Khan should be able to walk this underneath the tower. He does have to be a little careful. Okay, so he's not going to be able to, but I don't think that Fudge can actually hold this, so it should still get the bounce back. But still, again, we talked about it. Dam1 very aware of how they can punish you on the map, and all Blaber was doing was pathing up towards top, looking for a gank, and then Canyon immediately shutting him down thanks to the ultimate from BeryL. Dam1 now find themselves with a 1k gold lead and 3 kills to 1.
And in the isolated 1v1 matchup in the bottom side of the map, Ghost coming out on top. He has that serrated duck, has about a 10 CS lead, has picked up a plate as well. Usually, of course, this lane a little bit more active with supports there, but the supports have not been anywhere near bot lane for the last 5 minutes or so. BeryL with that level 6 Stand United, still about half of his way before it comes off cooldown. So expectations are Dam1 might look for a play, but more likely to wait for that ultimate.
You know, I will say, it does make me laugh that bot lane is the new top lane.
Yeah.
You know, how you just kind of leave these players on an island and they just kind of trade farm back and forth, and you don't really impact the game until much later. Personally, I think it's the more interesting way, because AD carries don't really turn on until 2 or 3 items anyway. Sure. So at least top laners get to play now, which is great for them.
Yeah, that's very true. I do think supports have become a second jungler a lot of the time, but you're not allowed to farm.
When were they not a second jungler?
I mean, that's true. That is true. This requires quite a lot of coordination with your team. Gordring can finish for Canyon as Khan continues just to jump away, but here's the Destiny, and they're looking for Khan. He does have Flash, gold card locked in. Flashes away from it, but immediately Control Wall coming out. There's a slicing match from as well, but Khan had the leap straight back up just in time to escape from the gank.
Fudge invested the flash on that as well, and Khan, I didn't think he was going to be able to get out of that without his E up and available, but he flashed early and he jumps to safety. Now, Kennen ultimate is down. Dam1 is saying, you don't have that, we're stronger, we know we're stronger, so we're going to force this fight.
Vulcan's still only level 5, gold card locked in, lands onto ShowMaker, Zenith Blade for the chase, there's the stun. ShowMaker will flash away, Khan dodging onto the back line as Perkz once again locks in a gold card. Here comes Sven, misses the Void Seeker, but they still manage to pick up the kill. Rift held secured by Blaber as well, and Cloud9 come out on top of the fight.
Now, C9 just execute the 4v4 better. Yes, they did not have Fudge's ultimate, but they're able to lock down ShowMaker and force him out of the fight very quickly. Then when Khan actually engages, he's separated from the rest of his team, and Cloud9 have a very easy target to focus, which means that they're able to get themselves a kill. They get themselves the Herald, but now Dam1 want revenge.
Vulcan must be so close to level 6. There's Stand United going in, ShowMaker diving towards Fudge. No slicing Maelstrom, no hope of getting out of this one. Solar Flare popped by Vulcan, but he's going to go pop as well. Exhaust ticking on him, and the chase continues. Sonic Wave misses, but ShowMaker does not. Meanwhile, Zven and Blaber kill Ghost in the mid lane.
Okay, and they will be able to drop the Herald in mid as well, so at the very least Cloud9 is getting plates back in their favor after Cloud9 tried to push a wave up top. Are they going to funnel all this money into Blaber too? Oh no, it's going to be split, but no?
Yeah, no, it was split, it was split. He ordered the tower recently enough.
Okay, good. Okay, cool, so Zven will get some of that money, and Khan is just going to be chilling in the bot lane for the time being. But once again, really good punish from Damwon as they recognize no flash on Fudge, no flash on Vulcan, and they were just trying to push out that top wave, so they went to attack it. Immediately they get the collapse, and crucially, Canyon gets one kill, but ShowMaker gets the other. And the fact that this Kassadin is continuing to ramp up is the really scary part for Cloud9. So let's have a look back at this one. Passive tick is applied by Zven. He's able to ult into Don's Ghost, and even though he's 2 levels down, he can still 1v1 him. In his defense, he knows that Blaber's there, so he's not trading back at all. Ghost is only running, so I'm not going to sit there and say that, like, wow, this champ is so OP, when if you don't hit them back, you know. Yeah,
usually it's a lot easier to kill someone off if they're not able to hit you back. At the 13-minute mark, the Ocean Drake spawned, and about 700 gold between these two teams. We're on a clock watch this game, but it's not stopwatch this time. Instead, you know, ticking that clock to level 16 on ShowMaker. Yes. I mean, there will be stopwatches, but I wanted to make a clock reference with the stopwatch.
It was funny, I liked it.
So he's level 9 right now. That's the time for ShowMaker.
Close level 10, close to that upgrade in Destiny. He has just base, doesn't have TP. Drake has been started by Damwon. You can see that there is a control ward in there, but I don't think that C9 can really contest this, which means that Damwon is just going to pick that one up for free. The gold still stays even. North American fans, I would not be stressed yet if I was you. I think that for the time being, you're in a very comfortable position. You can see that Blaber is slightly ahead in gold, even though Canyon has so many more kills. He's level 9 as well. The Kennen is ahead of Khan. And, I mean, across the board, the gold is just very even. So, considering the map state and the fact that the Drakes are even, it's going to be in this mid-game where we really see the comparison and how things pan out. ShowMaker on the Kassadin, very difficult to lock down. They would really need the Twisted Fate ultimate, which is not up yet. Oh, but
they're looking for ShowMaker.
Around. Canyon is nearby.
He will have Rift Walk. Blaber on his way up here as they look for the fight. There's the Stand United, and perhaps Damwon want to turn this one around. BeryL with a flash torn, but the flash comes away. Blaber still torn it up. BeryL underneath the tower, making a little bit of damage, with the Spirit's Refuge keeps him alive. Sonic Wave popped by Canyon, won't follow it up onto Vulcan.
So BeryL does invest a flash, doesn't actually end up locking anyone down underneath the tower. Did Vulcan have flash at the beginning of that fight? Or?
I think he Hex Flashed the wall, but
I think it was Hex Flash, but I can't quite remember. In any case, C9 just hovering, looking for something. ShowMaker's not going to take the bait, just going to go back to base for the time being. And props to ShowMaker. A lot was thrown at him this game, and he is yet to die. Interestingly, Rogue is the only team so far in this group that has been able to kill ShowMaker. We'll see if C9 can do the same thing. But again, I really like this proactivity that we are seeing from Cloud9. Overall, this team is really trying to make stuff happen somewhere on the map. They're looking for windows where they can look to punish someone sitting in the side lane. And again, they tried to find that pick on the ShowMaker, but unfortunately they couldn't quite turn it into anything.
As you say, no real cause for concern yet for NA fans, but as the game goes on, as Damwon get more gold in their back pockets, they are starting to get these items. Everfrost complete, Gore Drinker as well on Canyon. 3-0-2 on this Lee Sin, can be very scary. I wonder where these two teams will decide to fight next, because so far it's kind of just been allocated lanes, you know, like Perkz is up in the top lane, ShowMaker matches him, AD carries in the mid lane, top lane is in the bottom lane. Usually, when you see teams start to fight around objectives, they'll move things around a little bit more. They'll say, well, where are TPs? Basically, no one has one right now.
BeryL's also down. Canyon will spot out Vulcan, but I doubt they can do anything. I think this is just covering here. Damwon have their eyes set on the bot tower, and now Blaber is starting to make his way up towards top lane, and they're going to look to try and cross-map this one. The second Herald is also spawning in a little bit. And so this should just be a straightforward cross-map as Khan gets a little bit more money into his back pocket. Quick reminder of the stakes. If Cloud9 win this game, they're in the quarterfinals.
Yep.
Locked and loaded. No more games. That is it. Cloud9 advance. If Damwon win this game, three-way tiebreaker, Rogue and FPX will start, and then the winner will play against Cloud9 for the final spot in the quarterfinals. So, in either case, C9 will have
another shot.
And it's in their control. Yep. And that's the most important thing to acknowledge.
Oh, Sonic Wave there. Canyon safeguarded into second Sonic Wave there. Looked a little bit funky with the Spectator, but he was trying to get the extra damage down.
There was something about his kick that he was trying to do, and for whatever reason, he didn't do it. I don't know if it was an execution error, or he just decided in that moment not worth.
I don't know if it was a range thing as well, because he kind of safeguarded and Zven was on the other side of the wall, so maybe he just couldn't get in range to get the kickoff and then follow it up for the execute.
In any case, Kennen didn't really lose anything off the back of it, and now both teams are here for the Heralds. ShowMaker on his way down on the flank.
ShowMaker in a good position here. Perkz has locked in a gold card. Could look for ShowMaker, could look for BeryL. Now it expires, and you have to expect that's when Dumb1 will want to go for the fight. Khan coming in, Fudge spotted on a ward. Vulcan gets the stun onto BeryL only. Riftail down to 1,000. Perkz stands up towards the top side. Riftail secured by Blaber. The stun coming out with a solar flare. C9 have to back away from this one. Don't want to take this fight. ShowMaker going forward. Sonic Wave connects. Perkz turns it back. Spirit's Refuge will block the stun. Eye sitting there. Greedily, C9 want to step forward for it, and they will secure it. Fudge, I believe, took that. As Dumb1 for that will take the mid lane tower.
Okay, you can see both teams eyeing each other up. I really like that Dumb1 treating C9 with the utmost respect, recognizing the threat there. The position was not ideal. This Kassadin is not at crazy power levels yet. You have to be careful about the fights that you pick this early on into the game. And they try their best to deny the Herald from C9, but a good smite comes out from Blaber. This Graves is getting very, very strong with the Youmuu's completed. Yet to get his shield bow just yet, but he is working towards it, and he is level 11, so he has that advantage over Canyon. And with this Herald, they should finally be able to break down one of the towers that they're yet to claim. A lot of standing gold still up and available. The dragon spawns in 5 seconds. Fudge's top lane does have the TP. Let's see if C9 want to contest or instead just want to continue farming for now.
That's what we talked about with the movement of your pieces, your chess pieces as the game goes on, because Khan and Fudge have TP. They're both on the top side of the map now, knowing that the objective to be fought around is that Mountain Drake. It would be a pretty big win for either of these teams to stack those up. The tankiness you get from the extra armor and magic resist is surmountable. No. Substantial is the word I was looking for. But looks like C9 don't want to fight for it. They're just going to give up this dragon as Canyon and ShowMaker will secure it.
Okay. Whew. So, a couple things I've been thinking about.
Yeah, hit me.
Dumb1's engage is not very good.
It's a flash taunt.
It's a flash taunt, right. The power from this composition largely comes from their side lane. Now, for those that don't recall, in their game versus Rogue, they had a similar composition, except they had a Rise instead of a Kassadin. The thing about this composition is it's not the easiest to siege because you have so many melee champions in particular. And also it's not easy to start a fight because you don't actually have a huge amount of utility. Instead, where your power comes from is 1v1s, 1v2s, catching people in a side lane, collapsing on people out of position. So in terms of the straight team fight, I would say that C9 have the advantage. They have so many options in their composition to actually force fights and also potentially find picks and catch people out off guard thanks to the Twisted Fate ultimate. So I think that C9, if they can force Dumb1 into these fights, are actually in a pretty good position, and they could find themselves in a similar position to what Rogue was in, where if they can actually get the 5v5, there's a real win where they can, a real chance that they can come out on top. It's this situation that becomes problematic, because what can happen if you're Dumb1 is you're ShowMaker. You chunk out Perkz. You know that he doesn't, well, his TP's now just available. You chunk him out, he goes base, you TP 5v4.
Yep.
That should be the general idea. Or Khan shadows him, you chunk him out, and then you take the bot tier 2. And you kind of just keep making these plays knowing that you can attack the sides faster. And that's what C9 have to be really careful about. Playing around these side lanes and making sure that you don't fall prey to these 1v1s or 2v1s or 2v2s.
So Solar Flare traded there for the bullet time in the mid lane, as Zven and Vulcan wanted to crack that tier 1. Top lane tower falls as well, but C9 able to take some of that standing gold on the map and open up the map a little bit more, making it easier for them to catch someone out in a side lane. ShowMaker continued to push in the bottom lane, now has rejoined his team in mid. And with a dragon up in about 3 minutes time, ShowMaker is going to set up down towards this bottom side. Perkz has that TP, obviously used the exhaust last time they two traded, and ShowMaker takes away the big truck.
If we get an opportunity, I'd really like to have a look at the golds to see how things are kind of distributed right now, mainly because when you kind of look at Canyon, he's at 2 items, and while he's 50 CS down, he's actually pretty even.
Oh, Stand United, Canyon going for the kick as well onto Vulcan. That's the target. Everforce coming out, good route there by BeryL with the taunt. Vulcan able to flash and get to safety though. So that's the Stand United burnt, it's the Dragon's Rage kick burnt as well. and Vulcan had to expend his flash.
The problem for Cloud9 is there's nothing else that they can do on the map to actually reclaim some control, because Damwon already had the top wave pushed in. They had Khan pushing in mid lane as well. And so it's a great thing that Cloud9 was able to get out of that situation, but this is exactly what we were talking about. This is how Damwon wants to approach the game, attacking these side lanes, looking for small skirmishes, and looking for picks. So the second item now done for ShowMaker. So once he hits that third one, once he upgrades to the Seraphs, that's where this Kassadin really starts to get scary.
Have you seen the time, by the way?
Is stopwatch o'clock.
It's also about 3 levels to death for ShowMaker as he's on his way to level 16. But yes, as you say, stopwatch is starting to come in. Perkz has one, Zhonya's complete.
Look at this too. Blade of the Ruin King now finished for Khan. If that's not a split push build, I don't know what is.
I will say the look at this, you actually have to say it for people to hear it. You can't just point at it.
Yeah, but it's like that anticipation, you know.
Look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this.
This is what I'm going to talk about, you know.
Engage coming in onto BeryL. There's the taunt away. ShowMaker in a good position to flank this solo fire. Only gets the slows as Fudge is on the chase. Perkz going in with the Destiny. Has that stopwatch remembered. Stun card coming out. ShowMaker towards the side. Sven diving onto the back line. They're looking for Ghost. Looking for the slicing mouse from C9 and found a perfect fight for themselves. C9 ripped through Damwon in the jungle, but can they kill ShowMaker? Can they kill Khan? BeryL, ShowMaker and Khan start to punch back. Start to fight back, but Khan will fall. ShowMaker dives in once again. He'll kill Blaber, but Fudge is there. The stun is there. C9 are here to party.
And this was the team fight that we were talking about. Cloud9 find their opportunity. They get a good 5v5 and they shut down Ghost so quickly. Immediately the gold has been equalized and Cloud9 have showcased their potential. They are on the board. Fudge is 3-1-3, and Damwon have to spend everything just to get out. Let's have a look at this new Axe Effect replay as we watch the C9 engage. So Kennen is a little bit split off. Ghost is trying to back away, but he's backing away into this choke point, which Perkz, really good ultimate there to allow Sven to follow up on the back line, and then they can just dive onto Ghost and get themselves that kill. Canyon then immediately follows up. Then ShowMaker just gets crazy. This guy dives into 5 people, utilizes the Zhonyas to buy a little bit more time. Rather than go out, he goes back in, which baits Khan a little bit, because I don't think his counter-strike was back up. ShowMaker then, his ultimate is up, but he gets CC'd long enough to prevent him from getting over the wall. But the fact that he was able to trade 2 kills back there was kind of ridiculous.
You can see what C9 want to do with this composition. Dive onto the backline. Gold, though, still even between the two of them, and C9 actually didn't get much out of that. There were no neutrals for them to take. They didn't want to go for the Baron. And so Damwon actually still in a pretty good position with this split push. Khan and ShowMaker now pushing down towards this bottom side. Khan pops the Predator. Dragon secured now by C9, but Perkz caught out under the tower. No stopwatch on him. Actually, he's rebought one as he looked for the dive. Khan going on to Perkz. Perkz able to get taken out, but he able to survive for long enough for Khan to fall as well. I forgot that Perkz actually didn't use his stopwatch in the last fight and still had it up for that one. 1-for-1 trade in the top lane.
Okay, but will C9 look to try and force something
no
off the back
TP on
of this?
ShowMaker.
You're quite right. He needs to go back to base based on his HP. No, C9 not going to take the gamble. Okay, so C9's able to trade 1-for-1. Their TP was expended, but ooh, they may have caught BeryL.
He's going to have the taunt. There's a blast going there for Vulcan to get away. Canyon diving in with the Sonic Wave. BeryL, of course, the Spirit's Refuge stops the Leona stun because it's an auto attack modifier. And so Shield of Daybreak does not work when you are on that nullifying field.
Ward's now being cleared out in the back of the pit. Blaber.
They're not doing this. It's
No,
just, it was aggro and him. TP coming into the mid lane as Perkz joins.
ShowMaker sees an opportunity here. Doesn't want to force it, but this Baron is still aggroed. Blaber is still hitting it. No, no. There's no way.
Oh, Stand United. Perkz needs to get away from this. ShowMaker jumping in. There's the root. BeryL misses the taunt. Oh, that was just...
Perkz doesn't flash either. I can't believe he holds his nerve there.
This ward spotting out Vulcan is pretty big here for Damwon as well. They know that Vulcan's now backing away. Ghost coming in with the strut. Damwon will clear out the vision.
Perkz just used TP, so did Damwon want to threaten this? They don't have control over the top wave. The bot wave is in an awkward spot too, but Damwon don't have the TPs to actually clear that one out. Whoever shows bot runs the risk of the Baron being started off immediately. ShowMaker looks like he's pathing towards there for now. Remember, he does have the ultimates to immediately go from one side of the map to the other. But still, what a tense game. 3 items now completed for Fudge. 4-1-3 on this Kennen. He was massive in the last team fight, getting a multi-man ultimate off, but his flash is unavailable. But regardless, Cloud9 find themselves even with the reigning world champions in a game that could decide whether or not they get tiebreakers or they move on to the quarterfinals. Cloud9 has stepped up massively on the final day of Group A. And here comes the Destiny.
Looking for the damage here onto Canyon. Khan will be able to jump away with the Counter-Strike. Destiny just used there, but
damage.
ShowMaker is not there, and he doesn't have TP. C9, if you want to pull the trigger, you have a short window of opportunity now to do it. ShowMaker's doing the Krugs. Instead, C9 say, nope, we will back away. We will reset, we will let you gain mid-prio, and we'll work our way around. Sven's going to have to go the long way around here. Could be dangerous for him to step through. He will manage to get towards this mid lane once again, and now it's Damwon's turn to gain vision control around the Baron.
And we reset. You can feel the tension mounting. Mounting.
I mean, it's a mountain of tension.
It is indeed. ShowMaker level 15. The level 16 mark is getting ever closer. There's that third item on the horizon for ShowMaker as Perkz has already completed his. The gold is dead even. This could be massive for North America. 2018 you said, right? 2018 was the last time a North American team made it to the quarterfinals, and it was Cloud9 that did it.
They then went on to make semifinals.
That was
only North American team
that was
ever
the
to
year
do that.
that they beat Gen.G and Afrika, right?
Yep.
And Vitality. We won't talk about that.
I mean, Cloud9 have the track record. 5 of the 7 worlds they've attended, they have made it past group stage.
And they've got Perkz, the guy that does the unbelievable. He has for Europe many times now. He represents North America, and now the Baron has begun. The TP will be up soon for ShowMaker, but C9 is forcing it. They're flipping this.
It's 100% a flip. They don't know that Canyon's there. Vulcan's going to put a ward across the wall, and now Canyon maybe spotted out for the second. Canyon goes in way too early. Can they kill it before he gets it? But Canyon secures the Baron! The bullet time smite combination was enough. Canyon will die for it. ShowMaker now with Baroned up minions in the bottom lane pushing in. Perkz looking for the fight. He's going to get jumped on with a Counter-Strike, but he will pop his stopwatch. BeryL flashes away. Fudge looking for the chase. Khan going in. Once again, the gold card locked in. There's the solar flare for the chase. ShowMaker now coming in with the TP. Stand United TP 16. Available. Level 16 ShowMaker. He's going to try and get away, but they still got the Stand United. Instead, they turn back onto Ghost. C9 with moment-second perfect decision-making are able to win out the fight. They lost the Baron, but maybe they can push for an inhibitor.
Wow, so even though Damwon get the Baron, C9 still come out ahead on the fight. The fact that ShowMaker could not join was massive for them, and they were decisive on their decision to go for it. But what a play from Canyon. He went in at 2k HP, and he said, nope, I'm kicking you out of the Baron pit. My Misfortune's going to do the damage for me, and then I'm going to smite secure this. So just watch Canyon. He's the only player you need to keep your eyes on right now. Knows that Vulcan is going to try and CC him out, so he's got to do something unpredictable. Goes in, kicks Blaber out. The MF ultimate does more than enough damage to allow him to get the smite secure, and there's nothing that Blaber can do about it. What a crazy play that he made. Tries to flash out to safety, and then the collapse comes through. Now,
ShowMaker looking for this. That's the Stand United used as well. Fudge, no slicing mouse, does pop the stopwatch. Canyon and Khan on the way as well. There's the gold card locked in. He's gone in again, but Canyon's by himself right now. Khan going back in. There's the Dragon secured. Perkz low though. ShowMaker stunned up with the stun card. Can they get the damage down before he pops the stopwatch? He's alive, and now there's the bullet time ripping through C9. But they've already got another kill as Fudge goes unstoppable. They try to turn it back around. Khan with the Counter-Strike. Slicing mouse from coming out. There's the stun. Khan out. Shut down ShowMaker. It's the ShowMaker show as he cleans up in the river.
And just like that, Damwon flip it on its head. C9, they wanted to get themselves the Drake. They thought that they were stronger in the team fight, but there were so many tools that they did not have at their disposal. And then the level 16 Kassadin does what level 16 Kassadin does. You couldn't lock him down. ShowMaker found his targets, and he shuts down Cloud9.
You can see through this, he's just trying to kill off Perkz. There's no slicing mouse from the stun card comes out for the stopwatch.
It's the double stopwatch. Look, he burns the first one, burns the second one. He's just in gold for so long, waiting for his team to rejoin the fight. He still has the max stacks of his ultimate, and he's just playing on the very edge. Forces the flash there, gets the shield from Canyon as well, and just does so much damage. What a well-executed team fight from Damwon, and a heartbreaking team fight loss for Cloud9. They were going toe-to-toe. They were winning out on the team fights, but it feels like that the late game has finally shown up for Damwon, and now they feel like a menace when it comes to the 5v5.
C9, though, able to kill ShowMaker 5-1 and 5, as you say, on that Kassadin. Done what only Rogue have done before as well. Now we'll see if C9 can find some miracle, can find something truly magnificent out of the blue, out of the darkness here, because it does feel like Damwon have control of this game once again.
That Baron was still so crazy to me.
I actually think Perkz Unsealed Spellbook smited as well. I think they were trying to double smite. I didn't see it 100%, but I thought I saw it on the replay. So that's something definitely to look back at for all of you highlight makers out there.
Yeah. But wow, what a play from Kennen as well. Because you were calling it out for ages, right? The fact that ShowMaker was bot lane with no TP, and C9 were a little hesitant, but then they went for it and they were like, oh, well, let's just do this. Let's flip it, you know? Like, we can keep Kennen out of the pit, and they couldn't do it. And then off the back of that down one fight, a huge fight. Now,
Hex Flash.
Let's have a look.
Looking for BeryL here. Ghost is waiting around the wings. There's the Spirit's Refuge, and that keeps BeryL safe. C9, though, do have the push in the mid lane. TP's coming in as they look for more out of this. Vulcan, Solar Flare available. Destiny used as well. Perkz try to get onto Khan, couldn't quite get there. Stun card locked in, and we'll use it just to kill off that minion. Khan and ShowMaker, look at where they're coming from here, BeryL. They're trying to get the flank behind them, and Khan and ShowMaker are massive. Hex Flash. Vulcan flashes away. ShowMaker spotted on vision. You don't killer instinct that one. For a second, you could see Zven is a little bit of call of the Q, the call of the W, as he spots out ShowMaker. Khan and ShowMaker, though, gonna step into darkness here. They're being chased around.
They must have been spotted. They're 100% spotted.
They know that Khan's here. They know that ShowMaker's here. They know the slicing mouse from can come in. Counter-strike used by Khan. There's the Stat United as well, but they just don't have the damage to kill him up quickly enough. The Solar Flare connects as well. Khan, stopwatch. He's able to survive. They turn it around. Khan survives. It's a 3v5 in favor of C9, and they will kill off 2. ShowMaker survives. Khan and BeryL die, but Ghost and Canyon are pushing in the mid lane, and ShowMaker might look to stop C9. Instead, no, he's going to back away.
Oh, the pings are coming down, though. He is looking at an opportunity here. No, he's not going to find anything off the back of that, but Damwon will walk away with the base broken for Cloud9. And BeryL, you deserve a shout out there, because that was ridiculous. The Spirit's Refuge came in so clutch to provide so much damage mitigation. There was the dodge from the E, and then there was the Sterak's shield.
Does he know? Does he know he's going in? Down to half mana. That can be big. Fudge flashes away. They're looking to turn this onto ShowMaker. He still kills him off. Now can they lock him down? He's looking for the double. ShowMaker gets in, gets stunned, but there's Vulcan low. Killer instinct coming in from Zven as well. ShowMaker down, he gets the double.
Late game Kassadin is what you're looking at right now. It required 4 people from Cloud9 to actually kill ShowMaker. He's sitting at 7, 2, and 6. His death cap is near. Nope, his death cap is fully completed. Oh, this game is just slipping further and further away from C9. They're staying close in the kills, but it just feels like that it's so hard for them to do anything on the map. The good news for them is that ShowMaker's dead and the Baron is alive in 5 seconds time. But we just saw how difficult it is to flip a Baron against this team. So let's have a quick look back at ShowMaker here. He does damage. Yeah, he's stacking up the ult.
The thing is, Fudge does everything right. Dodges,
he does everything he
jumps in.
But the cooldown on the ultimate at this point in the game is just so low, and you can just see his. It's just the stacking ultimate when you're able to land that. Stopwatch, stopwatch, stopwatch! It's everywhere.
Big shot down there for Zven. Did manage to pick up 850 gold. Dragon, a possibility here. ShowMaker does have TP and now has respawned. He's going to TP away. And C9, do you go for the Dragon, or your back's just going to get stopped? Dragon's going to be secured. There's the Mountain Soul. They need to back away. Destiny used by Perkz to get him back towards this mid lane. Don't step up.
I think Damwon have recognized the same thing that we have, which is that in the straight-up team fights, they're worried about their ability to actually come out on top, so instead they are committing to just playing through the side lanes. They've now taken 2 towers down, and now they've started off the Baron because they know that Cloud9 is forced to go back to base. Really good awareness here from Damwon. They're burning everything that they can to take this one down, and I don't think C9 is going to be able to respond in time.
Yeah, they won't be able to get there in time. 5,000, 2,000, 1,000 and done. Baron secured by Damwon. 35 minutes in, 7,000 gold the difference. Mountain Soul for C9, and a Baron for Damwon.
And some people may be sitting there and asking, well, why didn't C9 just send 1 or 2 people back and then go to contest the Baron? And the truth is, 1 or 2, you just saw what Kassadin did to a 1v4, and they had stopwatches. If they didn't, they would have died so much faster, and he may have been able to kill all 4 of them. So you need at least 3 or 4 people just to stop ShowMaker alone, let alone Khan supporting him on the side lane as well. So if they tried to contest that Baron, they were likely going to lose their Nexus, which is why they made the decision to save the Nexus and instead give up the Baron and hope that they can stall this out before Damwon can do more damage.
I do hear a Baron for Nexus trade isn't usually the best trade.
Not the best trade
in the world. We've all been on the losing end of that one. Vulcan get a Hex Flash in here. Khan, he was on vision there for a second.
It's quite fun hearing their Hex Flash, not fully.
But yeah, I just want to come back to something we talked about a little bit at the start of this game, and something I think is worth re-saying. And that's like, holy moly C9. Like, they came into today 0-3. They then won their first 2 games in pretty convincing fashion, and now 37 minutes in, yes, they are losing to Damwon, but what a game this has been. Last time they played in 32 minutes, Damwon had a 13,000 gold advantage. C9 only got 1 tower. Here, it has been neck and neck the entire game long, and they look to continue to fight. Inhibitor in the top lane, the target for Damwon, ShowMaker and BeryL in the mid lane will continue to chip away. Khan by himself down towards the bottom side is now going to jump onto Zven. The counter-strike will keep Khan safe for the moment. 2 inhibitors down as C9 on their last legs, looking for the last dregs of defense. Root coming in, ShowMaker down to half HP. Kennen going to dive forward. There's the solar play on the backline, but Ghost has the cleanse. Ghost will be fine. Defender's advantage here for C9 is the Kennen looking for the slicing maelstrom. Maybe only on Ghost, maybe on Khan. Where have you gone? Where have you gone, Fudge? Who are you looking for? Where's the flank? There's the Destiny. Where's the Fudge? Is the question down towards the bottom side. Khan and him are going to match up. ShowMaker dives onto Zven. The killer instinct, not enough. Stopwatch popped as well. Slicing maelstrom used by Fudge. And Fudge is going to be a non-factor in this fight. ShowMaker diving in once again. Perkz and Zven went on a mission to kill off ShowMaker, but in the end, they end up dead. Fudge, Blaber, and Vulcan try to kill Canyon. Khan TPing back in, counter-strike. Will not find the stun, and Canyon gets popped into the GA. Blaber still trading here onto Khan. Ghost flashes forward. Blaber down. ShowMaker has the flank, and this is all done, but the Nexus falling. Clean ace for Damwon, as C9 tried as they might to fight back.
The fight was too split, Damwon was too strong, and they tore apart Cloud9. An impressive game once again for Damwon. They will go 6-0 in the group, and Medic, we're going to tiebreakers.
That we are! More tiebreakers, more games, more Worlds 2021. That's what I like to see. FPX versus Rogue will kick us off, and then it will be C9 up against the winner of that for a spot in the quarterfinals.
But I think that we can safely say that C9 is clearly the raid boss in this tiebreaker scenario. They have looked so good today, and even in this game, they showcased so many amazing things in the fights they were able to find, their early game aggression, and they really made Damwon work for it. And really, this game came down to that hero play from Canyon and Ghost around the Baron. The fact that they were able to secure that, and then of course, the late game came through, and that's when ShowMaker really started to dominate. So, huge props to Cloud9. They really made Damwon sweat for it, and they're looking good coming into these tiebreakers. Destiny's still in their control.
I mean, they've already beaten the 2 teams that they could face up against today, so they are very much riding high on momentum. FPX and Rogue have a lot of work to do if they're going to be able to match against the North American 3rd seed. We'll see if they can